So we round up chapter 2 now. We're still on economic resources. Okay, yeah. Did I explain what to produce? I think I did. The economic questions. Did I explain it? How and for whom? Okay, I'm just going to start from there anyway. So, yeah, what's an economy? An economy is simply a system that is top right in place. Hands down. An economy is a system that is trying to solve the problem we know about, which is scarcity. So to solve the problem, we need a structure, a system, which is a country. So the country will solve the basic economic problem. To solve them, it means they need to allocate resources. That is the point. So to allocate these resources, they need to they need to ask questions. What do we need? How do we get it? Who needs it? So that brings us to the economic questions. What is to be produced? The type of resources the economy needs to be produced. The economy needs to produce. That's what to produce. How? The process through which these resources will be produced, or this product will be produced, or service. Or are we getting it from? Are we importing it or producing it here in the country? That is how, the process. Then the last one is for whom? Who are those that needs the product? The consumers anyway. So what kind of consumers need the product? That is whom to produce to. What is the type of product? Hello? Stop that and listen, please. What is the type of product? How is the process through which the product will be produced? And for whom? These are the consumers who will benefit from the products. I think the point is clear. Then we have economic resources. When we talk about economic resources, we're talking about the scarce resources, which are the factors of production: land, labor, capital, and enterprise. I think that is clear. And when we talk about land is fixed in nature. Land is fixed in nature. It is natural. So anything on land is land. So we have resources on land, which are renewable and non-renewable. We call them renewable because as soon as they are used up, we can replace them. Example as stock, water, we can replace them. We call them non-renewable because we cannot replace them. As soon as they are used up, they are done. We can't replace them. That's why they are non-renewable. The example made gold, silver, these things, as soon as we extract them, we don't find them anymore, like coal. Then we go to, that's economic, okay, for economic resources, that's land. Then we go to labor. When we talk about labor is the physical and mental efforts of human that helps in the production of goods and services. For labor, for workers need to add value. And when they are able to add value, we call it human capital. That's human capital. The skills you are able to improve on. Things you are able to do better, that's your human capital. So you are able to, with your skills, with your knowledge, you are able to improve your firm, your organization. That is what human capital is. So you can achieve human capital through training and education. Do we understand human capital?
Yes.
Great. Then we have capital itself. So capital is the manufactured stock of tools, machines, and the rest. Capital is an artificial resources that helps in the production of goods and services, like the smart screen, like your laptop, like your computer, equipment, machinery. They use these things to produce other goods and services. So because we use them to produce other goods and services, we call them capital. Do we understand capital? Resources that helps to produce other resources, that's capital. Then we have our working capital. When we talk about working capital, these are resources that we use day in, day out for the organization. Like stock, resources, whatever resources we use, because we have to continue to be in operations. That's our working capital. Raw materials is also working capital. Then we have the fixed capital. For fixed capital, they are fixed capital because they can stay with the business for a long period of time. Like equipment, machinery, the premises we are in. They are not to be used up. So we use them, we continue to use them for more than a year. That's why we call them fixed capital. Do we understand fixed capital?
Yes.
Do we understand fixed capital, please?
Yes.
Great. Then we have enterprise or entrepreneurship. Enterprise is the office of an entrepreneur. Enterprise is that organization. Who owns that organization? The entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur is an individual who has taken the risk to set up a business with the aim of making profit. Do we understand what an entrepreneur is?
Yes.
Great. So then, what are the roles of entrepreneurs? The roles of entrepreneurs are, one, they organize production. So they are the ones that coordinate land, labor, capital to help in production of goods or services. So the entrepreneur is the owner, is the coordinator, is the organizer of all the factors of production, which are land, labor, and capital. Without these things, we can't have production. So because the individual has taken the risks to set up the business, whatever has to be done with the business, it takes charge or she takes charge. Do we understand organizers? Yes. Then we call them risk taker. Why do we call them risk taker? We call them risk taker because they put their own money into the business. A business that the outcome is unknown to them. It's not certain. That's why it's a risk. Do we understand? Yes. Any question about that? Then we go to the rewards. The rewards of entrepreneur. Though I wrote it there here anyway. For the rewards, I think I wrote them for you. So for the rewards, we're talking about the benefits of investing in all the factors of production. For land, the reward for land is rent income. When you have land, you rent it out, you make income from it. We call it rent income. That is the reward for land. For labor, labor is the human effort or the human or physical effort that helps in the production of goods and services. So in as much as you are working, either using your mental like a teacher or physical like maybe a bricklayer or a painter, in as much as you're working, you should get rewarded for that. The reward you get is called wages or salary. I think I wrote it. No, I didn't write it. The reward for labor. Reward, wages or salary. So that is the reward for labor. Do we get reward for labor? So because you're working, you should get paid for that. You should be rewarded for that. So the reward for labor is wages or salary. Therefore, capital. We said capital helps to produce other wealth or helps to produce other products. So it means with capital, we have additional goods, we have additional resources. So the reward for capital is interest. Did I write that? No. So the reward for capital, the reward is interest. I think I did. Okay, I wrote it here, sorry. Yeah. So the reward for capital is interest. What is interest? The addition you get from your resources. That's interest. Do we understand interest? Are we sure, please? And the last one, enterprise. We said that an enterprise or an entrepreneur is the owner of the business. So he or she has taken the risk to set up the business. He or she should be rewarded. So the reward an entrepreneur will get for investing his own money or her own money into the business is profits. Profits. So the reward for entrepreneur is what? Profits. This is it. Because he has taken or she has taken the risk to set up the business. So the rewards are for land is income rent, for labor is wages or salary, for capital it is interest, and for entrepreneur it is wages or profit or loss. Any question about it?
No.
So that is chapter 2. You can write. Yes? Fixed capital. We call it fixed capital because it can stay with the business for as long as possible. Example is the premises here. These are premises. This is a school, right? This school is fixed capital because it will be here. As soon as you are done, new set of people would come. So it continues to be here. It can stay for a longer period of time. That's fixed. For working capital, raw materials, they don't stay more than a year. Stocks, they wouldn't stay more than a year. They will be turned into cash. Do you understand? Example, stock. Things with raw materials. The raw materials will be turned into finished goods. The finished goods will be sold. Do we get it? So whatever we use in the business that helps us day in, day out, it's working capital. But what stays with the business, despite the fact of selling or after selling, is still a fixed one. So the smart board was here last year. It was here last year. It will continue to be here. Yes or no? So it is fixed. The bottled water we drink, it's working. Because as soon as it's done now, we get another one. So that's an example of working capital. Is it clear now? Thank you.